Good evening and welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord. Braves sweep, Braves jacket stays on. Actually, the jacket's going to stay on for every win we get this week. Until we lose, the jacket is going to be on, and hopefully we just get a week full of wins. And we got the Cardinals. They're coming off getting swept. We're at home. The Cardinals 1-9 on the road. Good opportunity to build some momentum here. Let's start with the actual series, and then we'll get into the drama, because the drama is what kind of, unfortunately, everyone's talking about this morning, and for good reason. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous in all aspects. But let's start with Alex Verdugo. We talked about the guy, and you saw every reason why I was like, why the hell is this guy not up here? Most importantly, he's a major league hitter. The guy hits 280 over his career. Like, he goes up there and has good at-bats. He doesn't try to hit the ball over the fence every time and strike out every time he steps up into the batter's box. You see that he has the game-winning hit, 4 hits on Saturday night, had another hit on Sunday. Excellent start for him. Obviously, getting Ozuna back. You can see just how the depth of the lineup just frees everybody up. You got home runs from Matt Olson, Marcell Ozuna, Drake Baldwin, who continues to play unbelievable baseball. It was a very Michael Harris hit a game tire on Saturday night. Very, very good, and the depth of this lineup is obvious with those two guys back in it.
It's pretty crazy that a guy, and listen, the Twins aren't, world beaters by any means, but it's pretty insane that a guy, and not to disrespect him by any means, but Alex Verdugo coming up and providing that kind of spark. And people are kind of just writing off the fact that, and we're going to talk about him later, but not in a good light, that Ronald Acuña Jr., when he comes back, this is the lineup that we all thought we were getting when we signed Jurickson Profar and we started, mixing and matching on paper in the offseason. And again, let's do it with a grain of salt. The Twins aren't world beaters, but they're still a Major League Baseball team. Those guys are Major League pitchers, some of them. And, it's just good to see this lineup doing exactly what we thought we were doing. Matt Olson finally lifting the ball up. Marcell Ozuna getting another contract. I don't know when it's going to be, but he's going to get one. It's a good problem to have. Drake Baldwin is really, really making it difficult on the Atlanta Braves. We got to figure out a way to get him in the lineup as much as possible. I don't know how that's going to happen, but it's a good problem to have, Drake Baldwin. He should never, ever go back down to AAA. I don't care about the crap. Oh, he needs reps behind the plate. Oh, he needs reps. He needs to be playing I don't care. We need his bat every single day that Sean Murphy or Marcell Ozuna is not in the lineup, or vice versa. So it is good to just see all the pieces kind of coming together. I just think it's kind of crazy that it took. And it's, again, he's a good player, but he's not. Verdugo isn't some guy that we can lean on, hopefully, we don't have to, throughout the whole season. And him, that little difference, just getting the bums, Brian De La Cruz, out of the lineup on an everyday basis makes that big of a difference.
Well, he may not be a stud from 2024, but he can be a good player. Yeah. I mean, he showed that throughout his career, and we talked about it, and he even talked about it after that game, how
the intangible aspect.
He's motivated.
Yeah.
Like when he got that $1.5 million minor league contract, like that sent shockwaves through the system that, hey, if I don't pick this up, I'm not really even going to be a major league hitter. I'm going to lose out on a lot of money. And he's going to have every opportunity, even when Jurickson Profar comes back, because I don't think it's going to be just Jurickson Profar slots in. It's going to be, if Ronald Acuña and Michael Harris are healthy, it's going to be more like a platoon situation before those two. And obviously, because guess what? Profar's not going to play. You can't just sit Alex Verdugo and then be like, all right, postseason time, Alex Verdugo, get back in the lineup. No, that's not how it works. And that's what's so oppressive about Drake Baldwin is he's not playing that much, yet he comes up in a pinch hit situation and delivers a game-winning hit. And then he plays on Sunday and he hits a huge 2-run homer the other way, effortlessly. I mean, he's unbelievable. That guy's going to be a superstar. And if Sean Murphy ever struggles, I know he's off to a hot start, and we don't wish that on anyone. If he ever struggles, I do not think it'll be a tough switch, because I think he's that damn good. Yeah. And on the pitching side of things, the bullpen finally had a good series, really, really good series. They were asked to do a lot in this series. Bryce Elder only goes 5 innings, gives up 4 runs. The bullpen shuts him down and gives this Braves opportunity a chance to come back and win that ball game. Then Rafael Montero, Chris Sale, again, doesn't look like the guy he was last year, only makes it into the 5th inning. Montero is asked to come out there and go and get a couple outs with the bases loaded, does it without giving up a run. And then they go out there and only give up 1 run the rest of the way. And then on Sunday, again, very good, only 1 run, a home run to Byron Buxton, two runs over 12 innings for the bullpen. Grant Holmes was amazing. I mean, that guy We really needed someone to step up with Ronaldo Lopez. He has stepped up. Let's get into the negative, though, which is this.
Bryce Elder's pretty negative. That guy.
Yeah. Bryce Elder doesn't. He's scheduled to start on Wednesday. If he makes that start, I'm going to have an aneurysm on this show and on Twitter. There's absolutely no reason that he should be making. But there's this thing. Jarred Kelenic goes out there in the 6th inning of a tie game, runner on first. I'm at the game. Now, I'm sitting on the first base side, right behind the dugout where Brian Snitker's sitting. This ball hangs in the air for 10 seconds. Jarred Kelenic pimps it. He literally walks down the first baseline with bat in hand, and then he's like, oh, crap. Tries to hustle a second, gets thrown out. Brian Snitker comes after the game. He's asked the question, did you say anything to him? Brian Snitker kind of gives an odd response, like, was I supposed to? It turns out Brian Snitker had no idea that he had pinned this home run, which is shocking because I knew it. I didn't have a replay to look at on the TV like everyone else did at home. I was sitting from the same vantage point as Brian Snitker, looking at Jarred Kelenic walking down the first baseline right in front of me with his bat. So I don't know how the hell he couldn't have seen that. Also, just from some deductive reasoning of the situation, this ball was hit 100 feet in the air, hit the top of the wall. Jarred Kelenic is a pretty damn fast baseball player, and he wasn't able to make it to second base. He probably could have made it home had there not been a runner on base. So it didn't make any sense. It's odd. He's either lying or he didn't know, which really doesn't do a lot of good when your manager doesn't know what's going on in the game when everybody else in the entire stadium does. But then Ronald Acuña just makes this a 10 times bigger deal than it even needs to be by tweeting out, if it were me, it would have benched me. And I don't know what's the worst part in all this situation. Jarred Kelenic not hustling is obviously a big thing.
I can tell you the biggest
Ronald Acuña being immature on social media, or Brian Snitker being asleep at the wheel during the game. It's all just a terrible look for the team, which sucks because you finally play good baseball and this happens.
People aren't going to like this. And the reason why people aren't going to like this is because he was right. Ronald Acuña Jr. was right. But it is the biggest problem. What is the biggest issue we have been saying about this clubhouse since Freddie Freeman and Dansby Swanson have left and all those other guys? It's maybe that lack of accountability. It's maybe, the intensity. It's whatever, those guys had that seemingly has left this clubhouse. And guys haven't stepped up to fill those voids. Whether it's the guys that were already here in the Ozzie Albies or the guys that have in Austin Riley or the guys that have come in afterwards, whether it's, Matt Olson, or Sean Murray, somebody has to step up and fill the void, and you would like it to be your very best player. Now, again, he is totally right. Ronald Acuña Jr. is 100% right. But the immaturity, you're 27 years old. I can make excuses for you and Trae Young till my face turns blue when you guys are in your young 20s. I get it. Everybody makes dumb decisions at that age. You are 27 years old now. You are the face of this franchise. Freddie Freeman isn't here anymore. You are rebounding from an ACL. Just shut up. Hand it internally. Handle it like somebody like Freddie Freeman or any other, 10-year veteran face of the franchise guy would. Not go to Twitter. That is just the weakest crap I've ever seen in my entire life. With that being said, it is a close second with Brian Snitker. It is a close second. I could understand not seeing it. Maybe he's looking at something. Maybe he's looking at some data. Maybe he's talking to a pitching coach, a hitting coach, whatever it might be. Maybe how could nobody else be like, hey, this just happened? There's 15 coaches on any given day in the clubhouse, in and around the dugout. How could nobody, your right-hand man, your pitching guy, there's 15 guys in there that could have come up to Snitker and been like, this happened. Did you see it? Or any other guy before he got to the podium right after the game. I mean, you go into – and the Braves PR department is among the best in baseball and maybe sports. Nobody thought to maybe go over to Snitker and say, hey, heads up, this is probably coming down the pike. Or maybe they just thought, oh, of course, he knew. And then on the lessest end of it is Jarred Kelenic. Yeah, you got to hustle. Guys do that all the time. He just got caught out. This is a guy who will be in AAA in no time. This is a guy that if he was important, I would be like, oh yeah, this is a big deal. And maybe it should be a big deal from, the best player to Ronald Acuña Jr. to maybe the 26th best player in Jarred Kelenic. So maybe you do have a point if you're saying if this guy's going to get reamed, that guy's going to get reamed. So I can understand that. But Ronald Acuña Jr. has to be the leader that this team needs, whether it's with his play or with his voice. I don't care, but taking it to Twitter was a total bogus move, even if he was right. He was 100% right in calling out Snitker, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 100% agree. I would rank him exactly in that order. I don't really think public benchings for guys like Jarred Kelenic would have done much of anything. I think Jarred Kelenic has always been a hustle guy that made this mistake, and I don't think it's something that will happen again. And if you believe that at your core, then this doesn't need to be discussed any further from Brian Snitker. The fact that he apparently had no idea is just shocking to me because, I was literally watching from the same vantage point and it was extremely obvious. And even if I wasn't watching and I heard the ball and I saw it hit off the wall and I looked up it in the air and I would have just been able to reason with just no eyes that Jarred Kelenic didn't hustle to second base.
Or the last part is you turn to the left or right of you and ask somebody who did see it. Like you hear a large crack of the bat in a baseball stadium. You look up and a guy is being thrown out at second. Obviously, you can deduce it. Somebody who's been in the organization 50 years, like everybody likes to say about Snitker. But even in that case that you don't, you just ask somebody what the hell happened. And then on the other side, how could nobody go up to him and be like, hey, this happened?
Yeah, I mean, the Acuña thing to me, though, is absolutely
it's the worst
because it just paints the picture of the lack of maturity of the entire clubhouse and the lack of leadership and the fact that he could even think that it's okay to say something like that. And hopefully, once again, all of this stuff's going to happen behind closed doors. Someone took the initiative, not just the coaches and not just Alex Anthopoulos, not just the front office, not just his agent, because he obviously deleted the tweet and heard from someone like Austin Riley, Matt Olson, somebody went up there and checked him and said, hey, this is a bunch of BS. Like, you don't do this. Like, you're the leader of this organization. Hold yourself to a higher standard. I shouldn't have to do this, but I'm going to do this because I'm a leader on this baseball club, and this is how you act when you're a leader on this baseball club. So there's no doubt that Ronald Acuña, it was a completely immature Bush League BS response. Anytime a player thinks social media is an opportunity to air out dirty laundry, someone should just remember, hey, this is never a good thing.
That's what loser teams do and loser players do.
It's never a good thing. So I'm in complete agreement that even though Ronald Acuña he's 100% right. Yeah, and it is, but I don't know how Brian Snitker could have known. For some reason, I just don't believe that.
I don't believe that either.
I agree with him. Like, yes, the double standard there is incorrect. It shouldn't occur. But you don't do that stuff on Twitter. I mean, I think that stuff is so stupid, and I hope I never see. But he's done stuff like this before, and hopefully it never happens again. But we got a lot to talk about coming up after the break.